Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'll be taking you through the complete process of making a ballistic fist from Fallout New Vegas. From taking the in game screenshots to design, 3D printing, and finally painting. The ballistic fist is a weapon from Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, not to be confused with its more popular cousin, the Power Fist. It's basically a wrist-mounted shotgun that fires when you make contact with something. Needless to say, it really packs a punch. So first, I loaded up the game to take a few screenshots. I did this by opening the console mid-punch and using the command TFC1. That pauses the game world and toggles free camera. That allows me to pan around and take as many screenshots as I want. I then loaded up my screenshots into Fusion 360 to start designing. And after about 10 hours, I was happy with it. I even played with Fusion 360's cool schematics feature. I then got out my favorite orange PETG and printed out all the pieces. I prefer PETG as it's as easy to work with as PLA, but sandable like ABS. While that was printing, the gloves I ordered online arrived. It was then time to prime and sand all the printed pieces. This gets rid of all the layer lines, and you won't be able to tell that it was 3D printed. After 3 coats, I was happy. And I moved on to sanding. A lot of sanding.
Two hours later.
And then there was paint. I first sprayed a base coat of black, as it's much easier to airbrush that iron color over black than white. And once that was dry, I sprayed it a burnt iron color. For some added realism, I sprayed the tips of the barrel black to simulate the soot from firing. Now before I started weathering, I wanted to get all the technicalities out of the way. For example, how am I gonna fit it on my hand? It's way too loose, so I got some sponges and decided to glue them on the inside of the tube. And that's some Velcro that I did not end up using. I got the sponges on a stick and sprayed them black. Fun fact, you can spray sponges black. I thought they would melt, but apparently not. After that took surprisingly long to dry, I busted out my epoxy and glued it in place. I ended up using just 2. I designed a fist plate in 2 pieces, so I could sew on a strap and then glue it together. For these cables over here, I decided to use some old HDMI cables I had lying around. I cut out 4 pieces and emptied the insides of them so that they would be more flexible. Did you have any idea the inside of HDMI cables were this colorful? Look at that. I had a bit of trouble attaching the wires here, so I quickly designed and printed some clips and problem solved. Everything's almost done. Now it's time for the fun part, weathering. So first, I decided to give it a dry brush, so I got out some scrap paper to dry my brush and got to work. After a while, I realized I had rub and buff, so I thought I'd give that a try. This stuff is super easy to use, so I decided to continue. Then I finally glued the barrel in place. After that, I gave it a paint wash to make it look old and dirty. The general idea is you get your paint everywhere, let it dry a little, and then wipe most of it off with a tissue. And with that, it's done! Thank you so much for sticking around if you're still here. If you'd like to print this yourself, there's a Thingiverse link in the description. Ballistic fist that like button if you enjoyed, comment what you think or what you want to see next, and consider subscribing. Every time I see that little number tick up, it makes my day. Have a great day. See you soon.